All right, welcome back to our episode. Ryan here with Chaos MMA, and today we have on Joseph Luciano. Joseph, man, it's nighttime here in New York. Day's kind of ending soon. I know it's daytime. Your day just started. How's it been so far for you?
Yeah, good man. I'm out in Melbourne, Australia. So just had our morning session and came back. So thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. Are you going to put some subtitles down for my accent, or you guys will be all right hearing it?
No. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Your English is good, everything. And for the day so far, training. How was the training session? Did everything go
Yeah,
well? Did you train anything
yeah,
specific?
real good, man. So Monday mornings we go out and do some striking. So I'm lucky to have a really good coach. He's not based at our gym, but head out to him, who I've known for a number of years, and he's pretty big on the local scene. So yeah, just getting in the striking.
Yeah. And no, I was watching some clips of your fights and like your striking, it's so slick. And I see on your Instagram, you're striking, like it seems like you're training it a lot. Like how much do you like contribute like the training to your success in the striking? Like how much of that do you give it to that?
It's funny, man. I come from a striking background,
Yeah.
like with Muay Thai, but in my last probably 6 or 7 fights, I haven't used it at all. So I've just been wrestling. So just chipping away at it, and you can polish a turd. That's an Australian reference for you.
Yeah.
So much. So I'm just polishing it up and getting it ready for when I need it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, speaking of you said wrestling with your last fights, I looked at the your last seven fights, 6 out of 7 of them have been finishes. Like you're
Yeah.
finishing your opponents, you're dominating them, you're finishing them. So you're thinking the major promotions are tuning in. Before your fights, though, is that something you're always looking for, though? The finish
Look,
every time?
man, I don't know how it works in the States, but we don't get paid by the round, I get
Yeah.
paid for the set fight. If I finish it in 30 seconds, that's a good work day. So look, I've got a bit of a pressure style. So, I grind cunts out and then they'll eventually give me the sub, and it's just happened that way. I'm always going to look for it. And if there's the chance, I'll jump on it for sure. It's well, like we're welterweights, we're big guys. If the finish is there, it's easy to grab and snap or choke them out.
Yeah, and with the grappling and everything, has there been someone that helped you with the success in grappling lately, or has it just kind of been you've been working on a lot? Has there been anyone specific?
Yeah, there has. So, as I said before, I come from a striking background, and I reckon before 3 years ago, I reckon I had done like 4 jujitsu classes in my whole career. So, since I moved to a new gym, Absolute MMA is known in the Australian scene for really talented grapplers. So, I've just been exposed to that, and I had the wrestling and the striking before. So, it's just like a bit of a cherry on top now, having the submission game as well.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, look, we see it in your fights. You're getting the submissions. The wrestling looks slick, and I mean, you 6 out of your past 7 fights finishes. Now,
Yeah.
I know you've been talking about the UFC signing. Has there been any talks? What can you say anything about it? Like, what's next about it?
So for those of you that don't know, I'm the welterweight champion of the biggest organization in Oz, which is called Eternal. The previous welterweight champion is Jack Della, who's absolutely making waves. My teammate Jack Jenkins, we got a lot of Jacks out here. He was the former featherweight champion. He's actually fighting in Florida for the UFC next week. So it's pretty clear if you get the strap, the Eternal strap, basically it's sort of like a bit of a feeder. I'm ranked number one in the country as well. So hopefully it happens in the card in Sydney in September. There's also a card in Singapore, which is close to us, late August. So I'm going to be deep in camp anyway. So either of those two options, obviously I'd love to fight in Sydney. It's like Melbourne's probably a 1 hour flight from Sydney. So it's pretty much as close to a hometown fight as I'm going to get with the UFC. So it'd be awesome, man. And, management's reaching out to them and vice versa. So, the results speak for themselves. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
No, I mean, yeah, I have a feeling it'll work out, and that Cindy card, it would be probably amazing for you to get on. We already know it's probably
Yeah.
gonna be headlined by Israel Adesanya. It's
Yeah.
isn't it like their first time back there since like what,
For a
20?
long time, man. Yeah, for a long time. So I think our last one in Melbourne was Whitaker versus Adesanya, and that sold out in like 5 minutes. And I think it still holds the record for the largest gate in the UFC. So we're a little starved of The we only really have the UFC that comes out here. Obviously, Bellator and all the others don't. So as soon as it gets announced and as soon as those tickets go on sale, everyone jumps on them. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean the cards out there are always crazy. It's a great scene of events out there. And say Dana White, Hunter Campbell, this is Hunter Campbell. We want to sign you to UFC. We want you to fight in September. What is your reaction going to be like, you think?
fuck. It's funny. Like the UFC is the goal for all of us fighters, right? When it happens, it's sort of like starting fresh over again. So for me, they go, sweet, you're on in September. It's not, oh fuck, I've made it. It's okay. Next thing, I need to win those 3 fights or 4 fight deal, and then I can renegotiate and get some real cheddar. So for me, once they let me know I'm on, it's just like cool. Next. That's a bit of how I am. Like, oh, you've got a title shot, cool. I'm gonna beat this guy, and then I'm ready for the next thing, et cetera, et cetera. So, hopefully I get the call and I'm ready to go, man.
Yeah, I mean, is it kind of like that's like the first step in your dream? Sign to UFC and then win.
100%, man.
Yeah.
100%. Like, get signed to the UFC, and then it starts all over again. It's like when you go from the amateur ranks, you have success in that. You start in as a pro, it's like a complete fresh start. No one gives a shit about what you did as an amateur. It's bang pro fighting now. I think the UFC is like, pro plus one. So it's like you've done your pro career, you restart, and then everyone goes, okay, yeah, you're a good pro, but now you're a UFC fighter. So fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, looking forward to whatever happens next. I'm sure you'll probably end up knowing soon. And does Eternal want you to defend the belt? Say that something doesn't happen in September. Have there been any talks about that, or is it kind of just
Yeah, so what normally happens, because Eternal's on Fight Pass, it's the only one in Oz that's on Fight Pass. When we have a UFC event in Australia, it's normally on a Saturday night or a Friday. Eternal will either go on the Friday or the Saturday, depending on what the UFC does. So they always put their cards at the same time, which is great exposure for us. And plus, you get everyone from around the country going to the UFC, so they'll go to the Eternal as well. So they've announced a card on September 9th. I think the UFC is on September 10th. So it's worked like, even if I don't get the shot on the UFC, I'm going to defend the belt for that one. So yeah, either way, I'm fighting in September. I can't wait.
yeah? And you get the fight in September at Eternal, you win that. I don't think there's any denying you after that anyway.
Correct, man. Correct.
And last thing here before the little segment at the end, do you have a bold prediction for yourself for the rest of 2023? Any bold predictions?
I got a bold prediction. Undefeated UFC fighter by the end of the year.
I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I can't wait to see it. Gonna be a great debut, whatever happens next for you. And last thing here,
Thank
man,
you, man.
little segment we do at the end, just a little fun, quick questions we ask you. First thing that comes to your mind, you just say it.
Yeah, yeah, easy.
All right, sounds good. So, first, if you got to spend a day out drinking with three UFC fighters, who would it be?
Oh, I reckon John Jones,
Okay.
obviously.
Yeah.
Great answer. I know Mike Perry's not signed, but I'm going to throw Mike Perry in there. So we got John Jones, Mike Perry. Let's go Sean Strickland as well. Let's have a real fucking bender.
I couldn't even imagine what a day drinking
That's
out
a wild
those three
bunch.
would be.
Me, John Jones, Sean Strickland, and Mike Perry.
Oh,
Fuck.
oh my, I don't even know how it would end. That'd be probably a crazy day. Next one. Now you're in a bar fight. You need three fighters by your side. Who are they gonna be?
Okay, I'm going John Jones. I'm gonna go Izzy Adesanya and
Okay,
Pereira.
I like that. Yeah,
I'm going big guys that can crack. So yeah, definitely.
three big guys. They get the finish. I like the answers. And last three ones here. Best striker in the world right now.
Oh, that's a tough call, because there's best striker and most efficient striker and most dangerous striker, right? Like overall, I'm gonna say Izzy Adesanya for sure. I think Volk's the most efficient striker. And I think Pereira is the most dangerous striker. An honorable mention goes to Rob Whitaker too. I think he's really dangerous, man. He's really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, Whitaker's striking's amazing, and Izzy,
Yeah.
Pereira, like, all those guys, it's crazy how, like, great their
I
strike.
think I think Volk gets slept on because he's a smaller guy, but if you watch what he's doing, it's pretty incredible. He's using fundamentals and angle changes on a level that no one else is. So it's super impressive. It's just a bit under recognized, I think, because he's a smaller guy.
I mean, yeah, what he did to Max Holloway in that 3rd fight, no one does that.
Incredible, 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 man.
Amazing. Last 2 ones, best grappler?
Ooh, again, it's like best grappler or most entertaining. Best grappler overall, I like Oliveira, man.
Okay.
He's so dangerous with his grappling. He's so dangerous, and he's going to finish.
Yeah.
Obviously, Makachev is super effective, but I think Oliveira's got a fan-friendly grappling style, and he's going for the finish. So I love to watch him.
Yeah, I mean, you see fighters don't even wanna go on the ground with him when he falls on the
Correct.
it's great.
That's crazy at this level, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. And last one, where do you see yourself in a year from now?
A year.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see my first 4-fight deal done
Okay.
at renegotiating for another one. I see the media in Australia probably going, Joe's a bit outrageous and we don't like him, but that's cool. Any publicity is good publicity. Um, and I see myself with a pocket full of cash too.
I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. UFC debut, I can feel it coming soon, feel like it. And for you, thanks again for your time. I really do appreciate it. And if you want to thank any sponsors, shout out anything, the floor is yours,
Yeah,
man.
I just want to I want to thank my gym, Absolute MMA. Like we're on the rise in Oz, and I think locally we've really established ourselves. So it's time to hit the world stage. And thank you, Ryan. Like you're over in New York, and I'm in Australia, and we're doing this shit via technology. It's pretty cool, and yeah, it's nice that the community is a worldwide community, and yeah, thank you for putting a bit of a spotlight on me and the Australian MMA scene as well. We got a bunch of killers out here, so yeah, watch out. The Aussies are coming for sure.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. And the Australian MMA scene, it's something I'm covering a lot more. You guys are on the rise. I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
people got to take notice of this. It's starting to become
yeah,
a
thank
little
you,
more
mate.
serious now. Yeah. But for you, have a great rest of your day and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.